How to Defeat Extreme Violence. You'll be able to download the book instantly so you can start reading it right away. There's no BS here. Over 200 pages of raw, brutal truth. This book is the bedrock of the entire PSD system. It was written for the everyday layperson that clearly and openly makes the case for using violence as your ultimate survival weapon. Controversial, yet fascinating, it has been called the Holy Grail of self-defense. It actually takes you by the hand behind the curtain of true criminal violence and shows you what you must do to survive it. It's not about moves and techniques. In fact, deliberately none were covered here. That's because focusing on individual techniques without understanding the main principles needed to stop some mugger dead in his tracks is a critical reason almost no one has any idea how to actually survive violence. Things like why most fighters are 100% wrong in the way they use knee strikes, and what you should do to get this right the first time. The secret of equal and opposite torque that will add the heft of a brick to your weakest punch. Knowing this could make the difference between hurting and being hurt. The number one, absolutely essential thing you have to do to defeat extreme violence. Why the natural way your body moves makes for the most effective close-in fighting. Forget all the fancy mess you see in the karate movies. Why the stupid standard martial art advice about knife fighting will get you seriously injured and lose the fight, and the only way to counter and win a knife fight. How to spot the 90% of fighters who were trained to focus on a single reference point, and how to instantly collapse his narrow training right back on him. Master these and never feel fear again. The one basic secret of winning a fight that almost no fighter knows about. It doesn't matter how big, mean, or skilled your opponent is, or how small you are. Women and kids master this secret with equal ease. How to beeline straight for the vulnerable part of your opponent so you can really end 90% of potential violent encounters in seconds with a single move that cannot be defended against. The simple method that enables you to release at will the Stone Age monster that lives deep inside every man's soul and meet any attack with devastating over-the-top counter-violence you can use to shift the balance of power during any brutal encounter. The most important and toughest decision you make in any confrontation, and how to make it intelligently and morally so you never have to second-guess yourself later. The two psychological responses all top warriors surrender to the instant a fight is at hand that increases their chance of survival and victory by 400%. The sneaky ways professional fighters use the element of surprise to turn around dangerous situations, even when they're the ones who've been jumped by an assailant unexpectedly. How to use the secret of your body's natural fulcrums to bring anyone to their knees, using only 12 pounds of pressure and a tiny torque of your wrist. Once you understand the secret, a fighter twice your size could be dropped in a blink with no more exertion on your part than you'd use to open a tin can. Why having a badass mentality can be a surefire way to get your ass kicked, or worse. The four most critical elements you need to be aware of in any fight. Knowing these will give you the ultimate edge in any violent encounter. The mechanics of the sucker punch, and why knowing them may just save your life. And more. A lot more. In fact, what this book does is flip everything around, starting instead with the end result and working backwards. It looks at why a criminal is so successful without any training whatsoever,